Morning students, I welcome each one of you to another class of learning English. Children, we are on the third lesson of the second semester. We are on page number 18 of your English text. The lesson we are learning is the penny-wise monkey. Okay? So in this lesson, let me just give you a briefing about what we covered last week. What happens is there was a king who was very rich, okay, but he was never happy. He always wanted more money, okay. So one day he set out to conquer another country. As I told you earlier, kings in those days made themselves rich by conquering other states, okay. So when they didn't have money, or when they felt that their money is not enough, they would go to the next state and grab it, conquer it, okay. And they didn't have vehicles at that time. They used horses and elephants. So this king, he went with his soldiers and his horses to the next state, and after a day's long journey, they didn't reach anywhere. They were tired. So the soldiers and the horses were resting, and as the horses were also hungry, the soldiers gave them green peas to eat. Okay, they were in the middle of a forest, and on the tree there was a monkey. This monkey was watching the soldiers giving the horses green peas to eat. So he also climbed down and grabbed a handful. A handful means a fistful of green peas. Okay. Now let's continue with the lesson. We are on page number 19 of your text. As he started to eat, one small pea slipped and fell off. The greedy but foolish monkey dropped all the peas he had in his hand and searched for the lost pea. Not finding it anywhere, he climbed back onto the tree. His greed for a small pea had made him lose all that he had. Now what happened was, as he had grabbed the handful of green peas, he started to eat. Okay. Now as he started to eat, one pea fell off from his hand. Now you know it is difficult to hold all of it together in your fist, right? So one pea slipped off and fell down. So this monkey was also quite foolish. Instead of keeping that rest of it in a safe place, he threw that all down and he went searching for the one pea that was missing, that rolled off from his hand. Okay. And he couldn't find it anywhere. So what happened? He climbed back onto the tree. Okay. And he felt sad because the greed for one pea made him lose all that he had in his hand. Okay. So the king, who had been watching the monkey, realized that his own greed for more money may leave him with nothing one day. He decided not to be greedy anymore, but to go back to his own country and enjoy what he had. So the next day he ordered his men to march back home. So this king was sitting there as he was resting on a tree, leaning on a tree, and he was watching this monkey, what he was doing. So he realized that just like the monkey, if he was going to be greedy like this and go on conquering new states, he would be one day left with nothing at all. So that taught him a lesson, and he decided not to be greedy anymore, but to go back and be happy with what he had. Okay. So the next day he decided that he's taking his entire fleet back, all his military people back, and they all marched home. So this is the end of this lesson. I hope you have all followed the class. Thank you all.